And for a more in-depth look at that, we're joined tonight by political analyst and publisher of the Quorum Report, Harvey Kronberg. Harvey, thanks for joining us.
Always a pleasure.
Now, as Rena explained, Governor Abbott threatened to take tens of millions of dollars away from Dallas, Austin, Houston. What do you make of this threat?
Well, first of all, I'm not sure it was a legal threat. I think it could have been adjudicated against him, but that's not the point. The point was he's channeling his inner Trump right now. He made just out of the blue, without any warning or indication to any of these cities that there was any kind of problem, he's threatening to take, in the case of Houston, $110 million away, 6 months before we're about to have the World Cup, to somehow punish the city for some kind of being lax on ICE. To make it even worse, the city of Dallas was in full compliance with ICE. I mean, there was no problem there. So it's getting a little tiresome. This was the governor blustering. There was no point, no reason for him to pursue this the way that he did. And the final resolution in Houston, when they changed the ordinance, it really wasn't that much different. It was a little mushier, gave law enforcement a little more discretion to deal with ICE. But otherwise, it was more show business than it was substance.
Well, you speak of that show business. Are you surprised how these cities actually responded to the threats?
No, not really. The former Senator John Whitmire, now mayor of Houston, has had a lot of experience with these things, and you could go to court and adjudicate it, but at the end, the difference in the statutes or in the ordinances were so minuscule that there really wasn't much point in going to war over something like this.
You know, and speaking of war, that takes us to our next question.
Perfect segue.
Yeah, exactly. 2 months into the war with Iran, of course, oil still skyrocketing because the Strait of Hormuz closed. Let's talk about what this means for the future of Texas, the economy of Texas, and this new session of budgeting is coming up.
Next January, we start our next legislative session. We're going to try and plan our spending for the next 2 years after that. Right now, everything looks very robust. Obviously, the surge in oil prices is good for severance taxes, but it's probably terrible for sales taxes. And sales and consumption taxes are the biggest part of the Texas revenue stream. So it's likely we may not see a recession, but we're going to see a contraction. For the last 3 or 4 years, sales tax growth year over year has been declining. We were just beginning to show signs of life again, but now the forecasters are beginning to think that we'll see a pretty substantial decline in sales tax. Most of the legislature has never been through a budget cutting session, and the last one we had was in 2011. And before the gavel comes down, the first 17 out of the $100 is going to go to property tax relief. We have about 15% of our budget's discretionary. They're about to, if the dire predictions come true, they're about to have their eyes opened.
Yeah, really wide.
Yes.
I'm assuming. So, we're a month out from the runoffs. What races are you keeping a close eye on?
To me, the most interesting are the runoffs for Attorney General in both the Democratic and Republican primary. In the Republican primary, Mays Middleton is running on Sharia law and how close he is to Donald Trump against Chip Roy, who has had his issues with the president. Mays Middleton can outspend pretty much anybody, and Chip Roy is having to spend his time in D.C. As an acting congressman, so you have to favor Mays Middleton. If Mays Middleton wins, and it truly is a referendum on Donald Trump, it makes the Democratic primary really interesting. You've got two pretty accomplished attorneys there. My guess is that Nathan Johnson is going to prevail simply because there's more intensity more races going on in that neck of the woods. Johnson may be able to raise money. Typically, Democrats are starved. They don't have any messaging. This cycle, because it's going to be a referendum on Donald Trump, I think that we're going to be flooded with Democratic money in Texas, and that's going to help the Democratic Attorney General candidate.
Yeah, no shortage of money, Harvey. Thank you so much for your perspective, as always.
My pleasure.